All right, hello everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Old Reader, New Reader. I am breaking the rules again, where we are all new readers to this specific thing. But we are old readers when it comes to other things. So it's fine. Sometimes old readers are new readers. Listen, there's no rules for this anymore. There are, but only slightly. I am joined by two of my best friends, Jessica, welcome back, who I met through the show in the chat. And now I tracked her down and I was like, hi, I'd like to be your real life friend. And it worked out.
Worked out great. And
then Kristen, my platonic soulmate, my better half.
Forever.
My co-host on Fangirls Assemble, so you guys seen her. You guys know.
I've been here.
Yeah.
I have a channel, maybe.
And guys, my my substitute dad is here. Hi, Mark. I told you guys that, right?
No.
This
my
is brand new
information. I'll tell you later. Mark's my surrogate dad.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Why is that? Kai, Chris, and Freddie, and Jaden. Jessica's back. Let's go. Got Jeffy. Roxy's. Hi, Rox. I read this when I was younger, like 10 or 12. I can't remember much, just I struggled with it. Deadpool's never really been my vibe. I understand. I like that James just has a little, like, emoji.
The monocle is distinguished.
Cable fan since I was a kid. Deadpool, eh. This is my first Cable thing. I mean, like, outside of, like, the movie.
I think mine, too, actually. I'm trying to think of maybe he popped up in an X-Men book I'd read at some point.
Probably.
Don't really remember.
Yeah. So, people at home, real quick. We just read issues 1 through 6, because I was looking through, I threw a bunch of Deadpool stuff up into the Patreon. I was looking at, like, top Deadpool stories, because I don't know. I'm a newer reader. I did read, or Chris and I read Duggan and Poseidon's run. Duggan? I'm going to do it every time. So I read all of that, which I did enjoy. But I haven't really been able to, like, I don't really have a working knowledge of it. So this came up and everyone voted for it. This is the If Looks Could Kill arc of Cable and Deadpool. So we only read that part, not the rest of it. If it's worth reading on, let us know. So in this 6 issues, they're dealing with something called the facade virus. And it kind of have like Deadpool is helping out a church to go steal it, where Cable is trying to find these other people who have stolen the virus, and they kind of butt heads through here. Like the facade virus by itself is enables you to kind of change the look of yourself, and this church wants to do it to make everyone blue, which, you know, not a bad thought in theory, but there are some caveats with that, like a lot of, you know, structured religions out there. I'm not calling my names, just saying, especially in comic book world. And so they want to turn everybody blue, but also kind of take away their opinions and their more of their identifying features with themselves. But this has significant interest to Deadpool, to Cable, Deadpool especially because of his skin affliction. And they butt heads, but they also have a lot in common as well, going through that with their healing powers, with their own, like, cancers, as it were, with Cable's, like, technovirus or whatever. That's my quickest sort of summary I could give to this before we just jump in. I hope that I did it okay. I'll take a nap before this, so I'm tired, you guys. Do my best. I guess we'll jump into first thought we're just getting into.
I love that he's a B. Arthur stan. At the beginning, I reread that panel like twice. But yeah, I think they could have taken it further with this enemies to lovers storyline. So it was good overall, but nothing wild for me.
Oh, we're glitching. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see if... Are we all glitching or just a few of us? I apologize. Let me see if I can't close down some things. Maybe it's my end that's doing it. I apologize if it is. It shouldn't be. I have fiber internet.
It's a techno virus coming through.
It's the techno virus. We'll
it's
just
a
keep
themed
going.
Episode.
Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Hayden sees zero glitching is still obsessing over Heartstopper. Hayden, I'll go read the book so we can talk about it because I watched the show. Anyways, sorry to interrupt anything.
All right, so it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a few thoughts. I also agree. I felt like it was pretty solid throughout. I wanted a more quirky, funny Deadpool. It was quite subdued, but I was entertained the whole time. I will say, Eiffel 65's Blue needs to be the theme song of this book.
Yes.
So that popped in my head. And also, I believe, I was trying to look it up. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but either the Ryan Reynolds thing came from this or it was already a thing.
Yeah, I've got to know.
I need to know the origin of that line because I was like, okay, this is way before the movie. So,
and did
it come from it? Like, did the idea come from that? I don't know.
This is before Wolverine Origins, right? This is 2004. Wolverine Origins. When did that come out?
Yeah, good question.
That came out 2009. So people who don't know, there's a reference in here where Deadpool says it looks like a cross between Ryan Reynolds and somebody else. I remember he said.
Well, this is a Cable-focused story, and Cable is a time traveler. So perhaps it is more meta than any of us think, and he went back in time from the writers. That's right.
Our minds just exploded.
Whoa. Yeah, but that is wild. Who knows? It was fate, I guess.
So I will say that after reading this was pretty short. I do agree with it. Like, from the Deadpool I've read, it didn't seem like he was as Deadpool, which is not a bad thing, really. But I found myself thinking that, like, Cable was a lot funnier than I expected him to be. I want to read more Cable after this. And I'm almost certain that I will be disappointed because when I've seen Cable in the movies, I enjoyed him there, and when I see Cable like as a person or in like other comics, I just see big tough, metal guy, big tough robot metal guy from the future. I also didn't know he had mutant powers. Of course he does. Now I know it's the virus. That's why, right? But I thought he was delightful in this book. I thought he was really fun to watch. I liked his relationship between himself and the girl at the Bugle.
Yeah, Irene Merriweather, I think was her name.
Yeah, I really liked her. I loved the way she would draw little hearts about him. I thought it was really cute. Their relationship was very cute. I want to read more Cable, which is not what I was expecting. But if he's like a super, super macho guy and everything else, I'd be very sad. Because I enjoyed, he was still funny. He was like a Luke Danes in Gilmore Girls level, not as witty. But like,
I wouldn't even.
Okay, I'm trying. I watched Gilmore Girls today. That I don't have another quick person to compare. Okay,
I'm just saying that's okay. Maybe compares to Luke Danes.
I need somebody. That was the first one I could think of.
Like Nick Offerman in Parks and Rec a little bit. Like takes himself so seriously that like he's definitely off the wall. That's
I like that a lot. So I'm trying to think of what's good to focus in on here. It's not that long, so it's hard to kind of go piece by piece. Real quick. There's some good Cable stories, mostly with Hope. And if you read Hoxpox, the Kid Cable is pretty good. Okay. I started Hoxpox and never finished. And I'll do it this year, because now that it's done, I might as well. I don't mean to sound a bummer about it, but I'm always like, Hickman. I've been burned too much.
I just can't.
How many bad experiences have you had? Just the one?
One very traumatic.
Okay.
I read it like twice.
It was prolonged trauma.
God. Hick Vengers twice is too many times. I read his like Fantastic Four, which was fine. He just never
was it fine?
I can't get on a Hickman run. I can't on a rant. But from what I read of Hoxpox, it was ongoing. At the time, it was really cool.
My thing is, if he's actually going to flesh out a character, that'd be cool. And then I'll care.
Yeah.
But, Hick Vengers was just straight event. And I was like, I'm bored.
You think this character's cool? Too bad.
Yeah, man. And you don't get to know why they feel these things.
I liked him in Messiah Complex. Oh, look at your profile picture. Look at the girls. All new Wolverine. Okay, so I'll try Messiah Complex then, because I am very interested. So I have a complaint. I want to know if you guys noticed. So earlier on, Kid Mystic said, okay, listen, I think he's very, very talented. I think he's incredibly talented, but I think his mind, his world building can get in the way of him, in the way of character building, and which works great for some people, but I am very much a character story character first over complicated story.
Character over plot.
Yeah, that's just me. So I think he's very talented. I don't think it works for me personally. That's me covering my bases. So earlier on in the book, Cable's going after these 3 teenagers with cool names who steal the facade virus, these hackers or whatever, which they look very 2004, all of them. And he goes after them one by one. Now, did anyone else feel that it was weird when he got to the girl and then stripped her clothes off? Mm-hmm. And then, but the rest of them, he didn't do that to. And then she's just naked and her skin's all falling apart. Why just, I mean, I know it's 2004, but why just her?
Yeah. Yes, that also bothered me. There's a lot about, right, like when you're reading with the lens of the time period something was written in, like that's one thing to like be able to keep in mind. But I would say like the humor of Deadpool that I have seen in the movies and then in what very little I've seen him in the comics is it does push the envelope a lot. It's not always like the most politically correct, if you will, that phrasing thing in the world. But usually it's got like a funny, joyful spirit. This had like a very sour kind of pervy note. I don't know how to describe or differentiate the difference, except for when you're reading it, you feel the difference a little bit. So it's not like even that alone, but just how it was presented in the big picture of things was just not the best. I also want to talk about how Yao Ming was randomly in like a page of that, and I was taken aback. I forgot about Yao Ming entirely.
Wait, he was
the man, the myth, the legend, the moment for like
he was outside playing basketball. Yeah, absolutely. And we were like, what? I remember thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, I'm back in this time period.
I was too distracted by somebody holding up an Amy Lee sign at the airport. I was like, hey!
Also at the times.
I definitely expected to, like, if it was a physical comic, to turn the page after the Yao Ming cameo to like a got milk ad. You know how it was like athletes with the milk mustache? That's like what would have happened if we were reading it in paper. But yeah. Anyways, yes, I felt the same way for sure. I thought the humor was just off. Like it wasn't even funny, even if it wasn't above the board, if that makes any sense. It just didn't jive well.
I gotta say, for like, I mean, it was only 6 issues that we read, right? So like maybe it becomes different. Okay. But we were talking about Deadpool not being super funny. I don't think Cable was super funny either, right?
And then there were these funnier than I expected.
Maddie will become a Cable stan. In like 48 hours, her entire Twitter thread is going to be...
She's going to change her header.
That's terrifying for me. Only because I'm assuming based on look that Cable fans are similar to Punisher fans, so I'm just scared. Mm-hmm. They're like, the man's too buff.
Well, they're not as prominent, I'd say, so there's that at least. You know, they're not like... taking logos and creating situations.
No one's walking around with Cable logos.
Yeah, yes.
Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. That was my bad.
Go ahead, Kristen.
I just think it's interesting that we were all like, yeah, we were entertained the whole time. And like, we were consistently, enjoying what we read.
Oh, I was very entertained.
Yet, when I think about it, I'm like, well, there wasn't any like funny moment I can even think of, right? It was just consistently somehow entertaining without being over the top. I'm laughing, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
not, like, which I guess is good. I wonder how the rest would be. I do.
Yeah, I'm very interested because I enjoyed reading this. I know people can be surprised. We were dogging on little pieces. That's so sorry about that. I will say I had a lot of fun reading this. there's a lot that happened in this, and our characters that were in it weren't what we were expecting, but I enjoyed reading it.
It had an interesting plot. Like, yeah, it had an interesting plot. There were a couple moments that I really actually was thinking, like I was thinking about the One World Church and like their whole thing about making everyone look the same would stop divisions and encourage unity. And then like the counterpoint that like people are going to find something to be different about. Like that's inherent. It doesn't solve the problem just to make everyone the same color. That was interesting. And then I also thought that random scene where Cable's in therapy with Professor X in like a sweatshirt, that was so weird for me. And he said something along the lines of, just because you have the power to pull everything apart doesn't mean you should do it, because that doesn't mean you have the right judgment about how to put it back together. Like, yes, the world is a mess. Yeah. Yes, we should do something about it, but why should it be you when you don't even know how to put it back together? Like, you shouldn't pull something apart when you don't have a plan. So I was like, there's these like little meaty sections that were actually really interesting. So, I mean, yeah, I think the plot, the creepiness aside, Jaden's word earlier is the word I would use, creepy. Yes, thank you. I thought it still had like interesting story beats. That's why I kept reading for sure.
Well, and that was such a cool panel too. Like, I loved that vision of him, like, because I mean, like the whole time, Cable's just using his powers just because, after complaining about how he's having issues with his powers. And then Professor X just very, like, no big deals, like, steps out, completely breaks apart the house to have that whole message, which was really great.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Oh, you know what? When you were mentioning that, I thought of exactly this episode of Fairly Odd Parents. Do you remember that? Is that just me?
Yeah, and there's an episode of Star Trek like that too, I think, when it's like a Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
That sounded weird. Shades of Grey. Not 50 Shades of Grey.
I did like the comparison of their abilities. Like, we get to that one point where they've been kind of fighting. And there's a good Deadpool moment. See, like, I feel a lot of peace right now that I didn't have before. And I like them talking about that. And then them going back and forth with, like, at one point, you know, with Deadpool starting to melt and Cable's like technovirus taking over. I really like that bit of them having like, you need me and I need you, to have to like kind of get close to each other. The way that the viruses in their bodies work is interesting to me. And I'd like to spend more time with that. But I really spend more time with Cable's abilities because I never knew. I never questioned why is the son of Scott Summers just like a dude with like, I know I'm going to sound really ignorant, guys. I'm sorry. Well, I know X-Men, but I don't know a lot about him.
Yeah, like, and I think it ended on that a good note to want you, like, to make you want to continue, right? Because you're like, oh, now I kind of have to know.
I've got to know
what this is going to be, right? Because I do think I'll continue reading it. I think Mark makes a great point, though. He said I was expecting more comedy or fourth wall breaking, especially the fourth wall breaking. I feel like there wasn't any moment of that, right? And that's something we think of immediately when we're like, oh, Deadpool, he breaks the fourth wall a lot. But I don't think he did it once in these issues, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's very different. And I don't know what Deadpool is like at the time. I don't know, like, the before and the... I don't know. Again, I read one run, Hussein and Duke it, and then I read this. So, Jane said Rorschach fans are worse than Punisher fans, to be honest. And when I say Punisher fans, I'm not even talking about real ones. I'm talking about the fake ones that live here.
They live everywhere, Maddie. Not just
I'll gatekeep for... Yeah, no, they're all here in Kentucky.
They all live
around Maddie.
I'll gatekeep for the... No, I'm not going...
I also wanted more fourth wall breaking. I love that. I love that in She-Hulk. I love it in Gwenpool. That's one of my like favorite things. And like fitting the theme of this show, the benefit at the beginning of breaking the wall, which I think he did at the very start of each when he was recapping the last issue of his own comic.
Again, please,
brilliant. Always do that. Always provide a recap. We cannot remember. We read too much. But that I think makes Deadpool new reader friendly in a sense, because the X-Men are wild and like Cable's origin is wild, but when you have somebody kind of being funny, trying to provide commentary enough for you to know what's going on, that's helpful. So I do feel like this was like new reader friendly. I never felt like lost. But yeah, I wanted it for comedic effect more often than just for the recap at the beginning, for sure.
Yeah, definitely more of that being included because it's so helpful. Because even though I read things I'm not always going to remember exactly how everything lays out. So just them being like, hey, by the way, this thing you just read, real quick, 2 paragraphs, just so you know. This is exactly how it went down. I'm like, oh, thank you. The names of everything, yeah. Okay,
what's funny
cool.
too is, I know all 3 of us are really big collected edition readers, right? They take all that out in the collected editions. Because I read it on Hoopla with Volume 1, and I'm like, what are y'all talking about? I'm like, oh, it must have been a single issue thing. Which I think happens a lot when they do end up printing like the trade, because they assume you're just gonna like read it all in one block, I guess.
They should know that even if I do, I still need it.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I'd prefer to just flip past it if I don't need it versus it not being included.
Also, Kristen, you'll be happy to know. I did read this on my phone app, Marvel Unlimited app, instead of on the desktop. Is that because I literally couldn't find it on the desktop app? Yes. But it was significantly easier. I still hate Marvel Unlimited with a fiery passion.
No.
But at least I could find it this time.
I couldn't. I sent Maddie a screenshot of my desktop. I was like, is this on Marvel Unlimited? She was like, yes.
It's there. But literally,
I think part of the issue, Maddie, is when because I know I asked about this in our last Fangirls. I was like, hey, what's it called? And you're like, oh, it's like just a 6-issue run. It's called Deadpool and Cable Afflicts and Killed. I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that. Okay. And I'm also looking at Marvel Limited, searching if looks could kill, and I'm like, where is it?
Sorry.
And then I Google it, and I'm like, oh no, it's the first trade of this run. And that's why you couldn't find it.
No, but I looked it up today.
I found it immediately.
And it even auto-populated in the search, and it was like, nah.
I don't know what y'all are doing.
You guys didn't buy the single issues on eBay? Oh, jeez. I know, we're fake fans. Everybody should gatekeep. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
That's right.
Yeah. The real ones get it. What else to say about this? The art was fine.
Yeah, I think fine is the word. It's really of the time, right?
Yeah, I liked it.
Like it brought me back to that time, and I was like, oh, everything looked like this. Certain stylized like looks to everything.
Yeah. Every time Wade didn't have his like skin condition, though, every time I was like, I can't. I knew it was on purpose, but every time I was like, did they mess up? And it would take me a second until they addressed it. I'm like, did they forget?
Did they forget he's gross?
Why does it look normal? Is this? And then they would obviously fix it, but I'm so used to people messing things up. I'm like, is that a mistake you made? Like,
there's one character that popped in that I thought was interesting, and then the character just disappeared, which was Hammer, the guy with quadriplegia. That like, do you know who I'm talking about? He was there for 5 seconds, so if you forgot, like, I really don't blame you.
I forgot.
Because I was like,
because he had like the microphone and everything, right?
Yeah. And he was funny. He was really like funny, and I was like, oh, this guy's cool. And then he like never came back.
Yeah,
and I was like, who's
showed him like a tiny bit toward the last issue, and it's like, oh, he's back. No, he's not.
No. But I was like, oh, this is a cool character, because he reminded me like of Oracle. Like he was like doing the Oracle thing, and I was like, oh, that's dope. And then he was like just not there anymore. I was like, all right. So if anyone in the chat knows if he comes back, I want to personally know.
That is a good question.
Jessica would like to talk to him.
Justice for Hammer, because he was in, he was gone. Yeah.
Element is a mess. I was going to start reading America Chavez, and if you have her stage as a character, they start with issue 9 of her first run. That's weird.
That is weird. That
makes you feel better. I didn't really like her run anyways. I like the character. I like her in everything else, but her run was. And you know that's bad because you know that I will read any of them like girl Marvel books. But.
It's also bad because Gabby Rivera wrote Juliet Takes a Breath, which you loved. I loved the prose. You all loved the graphic novel. And so when they announced that lineup, as someone who already loved America Chavez, not to like gatekeep.
Yeah.
And then somebody who'd read Gabby Rivera, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And wow, that was not good. It was not like, I'm glad if you liked it, if you're watching, but no.
It makes me wonder if like that was a big editorial situation, because now that we know like her writing and how great she is with characters, it's like, oh, something may have got lost there.
We're just doing this. We get to defend her in our own
right.
brains. Like, no, it's not her. It's gotta be someone.
Gotta be someone else.
If it was somebody else, we'd be like, nah, it's their fault. But we're like, no, we know her though. We know her.
We do. We knew her in Young Avengers. We know her in A-Force. Like, that's not her. I don't know that woman. Don't know her.
Where would you all rank Cable and Deadpool in your list of Deadpool runs? I've read 2. I've read 1 after this, and I like Deadpool by Posehn and Dugan better.
Me too.
Okay.
The only solo Deadpool I read was Night of the Living Deadpool, if that was even what it was called. I would rank it above this, but they're close, let's say.
I also read that. It was a good mini. I liked it.
Yeah,
I've read a lot of the Deadpool mini buses, which have a lot of his mini series throughout it.
Those.
And they're fun. They're very fun.
I put off reading or interacting with Deadpool for a very long time. Like I've said this before on the channel, but like running into Deadpool cosplayers at conventions for years was like the bane of my existence. And because of the negative press they gave Deadpool, I was like, I can't touch this guy. And then when the movie came out, I was like, but I love him. And so now one of my goals for the year was to read more Deadpool. So I'm sure I'll throw in a few more this year just to get through it. Deadpool versus Hawkeye. That sounds good.
I gotta figure out if I've read that one or not. If it's in a mini bus, I probably did, but I'm writing it down too.
Yeah. Any final thoughts? I guess we can rate it and then just chill at the chat and talk comics.
We liked it.
Yeah.
Let's speak for all of us.
No regrets.
No regrets. Rating out of 10.
Kristen?
I'm like, I don't know. Maybe a 7.
That's what I'm thinking.
7 feels nice.
I'm not trying to piggyback on you. It was already here first.
No, I got you. This is how we do.
There's only 10 numbers to pick from, so, Yeah, I mean, that feels good, actually. I mean, it's hard. I didn't read it on Goodreads because sometimes when I read something and I'm like, that was fine. I can't point to anything majorly wrong. I probably wasn't like the target audience. I have trouble rating stuff like that, So I would say 7 feels good because it's not bad, but it's not like, it can't be an 8, 9, or 10, knowing what 8, 9, and 10 has been for other things that I love. So.
Yeah.
6 out of 10 felt like 4 issues of story stretched into 6. Yeah.
That's fair.
I can see that. We got some recommendations. Freddie recommends skipping ahead to Kelly Thompson's King Deadpool. I'll read anything Kelly Thompson. Deadpool versus Sales is great. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. That was also on the Patreon poll. My favorite Deadpool stories are his Joe Kelly run and him and Uncanny X-Force. I do want to read Uncanny X-Force.
I do too.
Chris said, honestly, 4.5 out of 10 for me. I was kind of bored. I probably give this book a 2.45632 out of 10. Just don't read Deadpool pulp. I get rid of my copy if I didn't need it for the matching spines. We've all been there.
Yeah. I will say this was like a breezy read though. Like it was I feel like it was very fast. There's nothing difficult about it. Like it just kind of went by. And I like that.
Yeah, I read it right before the show. And had time for a nap.
There you go.
What if I put that in my reviews? I'm like, I read it. This
and
is my time.
Or that in the back of the book, 100%.
Perfect. And actually, next week on the show is more X-Men related things because I'm reading Wolverine and the X-Men finally.
Ooh.
Followed by a Wonder Woman book the week after. Look at me planning ahead.
Nice.
Oh, Jessica, do you want to join for that Wonder Woman one? Whitney will be here.
What are you reading?
I think I'll recommend Rucka because I'm also recommending Rucka to Kristen. So I'll have 2 shows in the month where we talk about Rucka's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'll check my calendar. Rucka's my favorite Wonder Woman run. You're so lucky, Kristen.
Like
oh, I'm terrified. Last time I thought Kristen might like something. It was, I don't know.
What happened? Wait, what was it?
I don't know. I can't remember, but it was definitely a graphic novel.
And I hated it?
No, you just didn't love it.
Oh.
But you're gonna love Rucka. You're gonna love it.
Wait, now I have to know what it is.
I'll have to think about it. I can't remember what it was, but I remember being like, "Oh, that's a bummer. She didn't like that." I was so excited. Yeah, I'll check my calendar. I do love Rucka. I'm glad for more Wonder Woman. Rucka needs an omnibus, and I want to just talk about it for 1 second.
The Rucka bus.
A Rucka bus, yes. The Gail Simone one, though, came. It was the beginning. I'll never forget. It was the beginning of the Panini, and I was facing isolation, and I was like, I know it's coming in the mail today, and you better bet your butt I just watched out the window for that mail truck to arrive with that Gail Simone Wonder Woman omnibus, and I could not believe it was real. And they need to do Birds of Prey next.
Yeah. Oh, please, because all of the trades of Gail Simone's Birds of Prey don't have numbers on the spines. It makes me irate.
That's not okay.
And then DC started doing that shit again. I'm like, you can't not have numbers on the spine. You can't. How am I supposed to just remember?
They put it on the back, which is a choice
crime.
that they made. Yeah,
it's a crime.
A crime.
Made me so mad. Oh, Kid Mystic is currently reading Rekko's Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yeah, my favorite Wonder Woman run so far is Perez. I haven't read Perez's run.
That'll take you a while. I enjoy it a lot, but it is. You have to be in a sit and hunker down kind of mood because there's so much text, but it's good stuff. It's a lot of mythology, which is a cool part of that character. So,
and I can do that for Wonder Woman. There'll be some characters that, like, if I don't have a huge connection to, I may not be able to make it through certain types of books. But with Wonder Woman, I can do anything, and that's my motto in life and reading.
With Wonder Woman, I can do anything.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt. I still need to read The Vision by Tom King. That one's really good.
You have to.
You know, Tom King and I have a relationship, right? Love and hate relationship.
It's complicated on Facebook.
It's complicated. I love him. He hates me in particular because he always wants to kill my husband, Roy Harper. I say always. One time. That's all it took. But I love Vision. And I'm dying to read his Supergirl run.
Yeah, I started that. It's good. It's different. I like it. My
copy of A Man as Cat Volume 5 doesn't have a number on the spine.
They all don't have a number on the spine, James.
Well,
all of them.
We forgive that.
Yeah.
It's a crime for DC, but
it was clearly a printing error is what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know how I became a Wonder Woman fan. I think it was Wonder Woman Earth 1. That's interesting.
I liked the first 2 volumes of that. Wait, am I remembering this? Yeah, yes. The first 2 volumes of that, but then I wasn't a big fan of the third.
I don't think I read the third. I think I have it, but
yeah, it came out I think just last year. But you know what's great? Earth 1 and is finally getting its 3rd volume, Green Lantern.
Okay.
Who am I? I don't know, but it's so good. And the fact that I'm not like a massive Green Lantern.
I know. I was really surprised. I was like, oh, okay.
It's so good. I mean,
I look behind her and like secretly there's like Guy Gardner.
No, this actually is like all the Green Lantern, just this little bit. So it's not a lot.
I like your fancy Flash stuff though.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got one facing out. How cute.
Yeah.
What do you
signed it?
This is yes. This is so appropriate. Wait, you had Weight of Honor, wasn't that you? Mark Waid was here. Weight of Honor. And this is a wedding issue.
Oh,
here you go.
Cute, and it's signed. Look at you.
So yeah, it's signed, and guess I just found it like at a shop. Like I did not go get it signed. It was like $3. Yeah.
Love that.
Cool.
That reminds me, I need to frame my like Teen Titans signed by George Perez and Marv Wolfman before I forget. I need to frame it and put it up before I wreck it somehow. Petition for a show where Krista and Maddie get completely caught up on Boom Live and take a shot every time it's bad.
We would be dead.
What's Boom Live?
Like everything, I assume.
Oh, the
references.
Stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Boom Live, the publisher. Okay.
I'm not touching Buffy anymore, Hayden.
I am
not for a while.
And I'm touching it so I can complain about it properly.
I can't
I
do
would
it.
properly complain about it.
Hayden, you'll be happy to know that we will do I already said we're going to do a show on Heartstoppers. We're going to do a show on Heartstoppers to compare and contrast the comic and the show, because I watched the show and it cleared my skin. It made it stop raining outside, so I've got to read the book. So.
You have to.
It's so good.
It's so good, you guys.
So good. They're both
good.
so good.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of comic book stuff, anybody in the chat, have you guys booked your tickets for Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness? And should I read anything before that gets here?
Are people booking tickets for that?
Yeah. I haven't yet.
It's just a real question I have.
Jessica, have you got a ticket yet?
No, I don't have my ticket yet.
See, Jessica's not booking tickets.
Can we talk tomorrow so we book our tickets at the same time? Okay.
Yeah,
that's why I haven't done it. See, if you live here, Kristen, you have no choice but to go to the movies with us all the time.
I literally can't go to the theater still, so, not booking any tickets.
See, if you were here, we would pay for it. Just be like, here you go, let's pick you up.
I would love to go. Just teleport there.
Yes, please.
I'm excited for that one, but I'm more excited for Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Yes. It looks so good.
Died. The day the trailer and the initial poster came out, I thought this can't get any better. And then they released the Mighty Thor Jane poster, the variant, like the next day or the day after, and I was like,
oh my god. Best. I'm getting an excuse to reread and review Jason Aaron's Thor, I guess.
I mean, let's do it together, because I clearly have it and haven't read it still. So
yes,
like Natalie Portman.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's everything I could want, because it's just like fantasy and like, she's so cool.
The art is also consistently great throughout the entire series. It's so
the
good.
Art and the colors, phenomenous. Phenomenous.
It is phenomenous.
It is phenomenous. I think because I saw somebody write Jason Aaron Omnibus in there, and then that's what happened. That's what I'm going to call it.
James is bringing up an important point.
How are y'all going to handle next week with the Circle and Multiverse of Madness? I don't know.
Mostly just the Circle, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the headline for me. But
is that the fourth? It's the fourth, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Are we going to group watch it?
We have to do something.
I'll make sure to keep my calendar open.
Even if it's like just we need to get together after and talk about it, like something.
Okay, we can schedule a call.
Or we can schedule, I'm telling you, let's revive my channel again.
Just for the Circle.
Third time.
I'm down.
I will do Circle shows on my channel.
Yes.
Everyone subscribed is going to be like, unsubscribe. But I don't care. I'm going for it.
Counterpoint, the Circle fans will suddenly get into comics. So
what if
you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
We were like, this person, like, if they were a comic, they'd be this.
I'm telling you, if we can figure out like a weekly time where y'all want to jump on, talk to the internet.
I think we do Wednesday after watch the show.
I'm all in. Well, we need like a time though. So we could tell the whole internet.
Right. We'll talk about
everyone watching clearly cares about this.
Sorry, guys. We'll talk about our Twitter group.
James does care. He cares.
It's a reality show. It has nothing to do with comic books.
It's way better than it should be. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a social experiment.
It is.
It's fascinating.
Everyone stops watching the show. They're like, okay. You guys watch The Northman? No, but you best believe I'm going to.
Is that a movie or a show? I am so confused.
It's a movie.
Okay.
But also it has the guy who played Eric Northman in True Blood, so it always makes me laugh.
Oh, did you see, speaking of this, like, this sort of genre, Heathens is getting has a Kickstarter for an omnibus.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean Heathen, right?
Heathen or Heathens. I don't know if there are more than one of them. I can't remember. But
I need it.
That girl, that Heathen.
Right now.
Yeah, I'll send it to you on Twitter. Yeah, I saw one of the folks that I follow recirculated the petition.
Oh, God, I love that book so much. I hope it has the same face feel as the trades because it feels so nice. It's a good feeling book.
It is a good feeling book.
Oh, Joe, we would never kill you. The Circle, if you're familiar with the epic reality TV show Big Brother, it's like that, but they're never in the same room. They talk on the internet, so you could pretend to be someone you're not to like the next level. Because in Big Brother, you could be like a CIA agent and say you're a school teacher, so people don't see you as a threat. But in the Circle, you could be like, I am a bodybuilder from like Western Pennsylvania, and really like you're, I don't know, the opposite
A ghost
of that.
hunter.
Yeah, a ghost hunter from Northern California. Totally different vibes.
Soft color. Okay, nice.
Yes,
Okay,
ready.
nice,
there we
nice.
go. Okay.
Yeah, I just found it. I'm excited, and it's pretty cheap. The best part of the Circle,
Chris
though,
says he'd love seeing us talk about it.
Good. Go ahead,
thank you,
Kristen.
Chris. We're gonna do it on my channel, Chris. Check it out.
Yes.
The best part of the Circle that you didn't mention, it's a great way to describe it, but is when you get kicked off the Circle, you get to meet one.
Oh yeah, that is true.
And when they meet this person in real life, they're either confronting them, or they think they're like a catfish, or they're not a catfish. Like, it's a whole situation, and that is the best part.
Listen, I will pay somebody real money. I don't have a lot of money. I'll pay someone some money if they can make a comic book version of this with Marvel or DC characters.
Oh
that
my
actually
God,
would be super
yes.
fun.
Yes,
I want Superman to be there and be like, I'm just Clark Kent, regular guy. And they're like, he's a cop. He's fake. Gotta catch one. Any thoughts on self-driving cars from Trent Thomas?
Seems dangerous.
Sci-fi movies have taught me not to trust them, so
I can't afford one.
Me. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there's that too.
I have some money, like Maddie.
I need a new job to be able to do that. That would be great. Any thoughts on Sony CinemaCon news from today? I didn't see any. Are there any? Can you give us
Tell us the news?
Tell us the news.
Chris, live reaction to what
Sorry.
Was her? She was in the
Or
chat.
like she's a catfish.
That's still the best thing ever. Like
I
Gail
was
Simone
watching
being
when that
here, and I'm
happened.
like, no, you're not. She's like, hey, when does that book come out? I was like, you would know, Gail Simone. You wrote the foreword like an asshole.
Wait, Jessica. So you were watching. Did you think it was her?
No, of course not.
Okay.
But then, like, she kept being so serious, but not like having an outsized reaction, which made me think, okay, you're not like a troll. But like, how would I mean? No,
I didn't know
I
that she
definitely at the end of the
tweeted.
day,
I would
I was
never
like,
think that would happen.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
wild.
Across the Spider-Verse will feature 240 characters and be set in 6 universes. Is that like in just that one film, or like? I'll be ready for any Spider-Verse ever. So I'm in forever. As long as they can keep doing this and stop making crappy live action movies I don't care about. Morbius.
There's so much
Venom
hate.
can continue. That's fine. But did we need Morbius? You know? I didn't ask for it. Now, should they try to appeal to me personally? No. But like, we didn't need it.
There's so many unnecessary things. So many. And yet no news, unless Hayden tells us otherwise, on the Spider-Woman movie. We learned about it months ago. Have I heard anything since then? No. But you know what got made in the meantime? Morbius. That's what got made in the meantime.
I just remember him from like the old Spider-Man cartoon. I didn't care about him there either. And then once they're like, hey, now it's Jared Leto, I was like, care about it way less.
Are you saying you're not in the echelon, Maddie? Is that what you're saying to me right now?
No. I'm not going to go off to his like weird
okay.
summer camp cults with you.
Oh, someone said, yeah, this is true. Superhero movie fatigue has hit me hard. I feel that sometimes too. And I know, Maddie, you're watching Moon Knight, but actually none
I'm
of my
behind.
friends in real life who are not really comic book readers, but who usually watch all of those properties are watching Moon Knight, which is shocking. Like none of them. Yeah, I just haven't seen as much hype around it. So I'm wondering if fatigue is like just very real, across the board. But
maybe, and I feel like it's way more comic booky too. I mean, in comparison, like what it's coming from, because like WandaVision's very easy for people to watch. Loki, people were watching for Tom, but I liked what I saw of it so far. I'm behind probably like 3 or 4 episodes. I haven't been as like in the need to watch it week to week as I have with other stuff, but I'll catch up before I go watch Multiverse of Madness. I know it's not going to be related, but just in case, I gotta cover all my bases. But I do agree that like I've cared less about some things, but that's because I want to be relaxed, and I still have to watch the Batman. I guess I waited until it was streaming to watch it because I just don't want to be hurt, and my expectations are very low, and I'd rather have a drink while I'm watching it and be like cozy. So I'll watch it sometime.
Feel free to text me your stream of consciousness thoughts as you watch. I would greatly appreciate it.
I will.
I'll have you know, the gentleman in the back of my movie theater of 5 people really enjoyed the heck out of that movie. He was a big fan.
That.
He was like clapping at parts that he thought were like really heroic. And this movie was not for me. I'm not going to go into detail, obviously, now. But I was just like so glad somebody was hype about it. And I've actually several people in my life were like, that's the best Batman movie. And I was like, I don't feel that way, but I'm glad it exists.
I've seen a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
You know what is really good? Sonic 2. Now, listen up. Our power was out for like the whole night, so we left to go watch Sonic 2 so we could go do something. Sonic 2 is so good. I'm not joking.
No, I believe you.
It's dumb. It's stupid. It feels like a 90s like fever dream, like from my childhood. It's everything I could ever want. Jim Carrey was perfect. Knuckles, the echidna, is in it. Tails, aka Miles Prower, is in it. Perfect. They made the dumb show you the way joke that happened on the internet like 5 years ago. It's great. So if you guys are like, man, I need something fun in my life. Sonic 2. But if you want something that's very good, if you're like, man, movies just aren't the same. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Just stop watching this, go to the movie theater and go watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. Because that is the superhero movie we all deserve.
Yeah, I've seen people's very emotional TikToks as they have exited that movie, and it's just only increased my interest for sure. So I'll definitely be watching that.
So good.
Hayden agrees about Sonic 2. They said no spoilers, but the Sonic 2 credits scene is perfection.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's a bold statement.
I was excited to watch the Batman movie. I was not going with high hopes. It's really good in my opinion. I'm hoping that because I have such low expectations that they'll be exceeded. That's the trick. Because you know where what?
You know where your expectations are going to be met? Zoe Kravitz. That's why I saw the movie, and that part did not let me down at all. That was 10 out of 10. Enjoy. Yeah.
You know what the other best thing about the Batman movie is? That pizza we got from Little Caesars.
The mini pad pizza?
Yes. The Batman, aka the maxi pad pizza from Little Caesars, was amazing.
The calzone with the cheesy bacon wings on the side. Yeah, I agree. 10 out of 10 is
so good.
It's the best thing I've had from Little Caesars. I agree. Yeah. And they gave us
posters.
Embossed posters. Embossed. The Little Caesars logo is embossed.
Wow.
In the bottom of the poster. I still have it somewhere. Yeah.
Were you able to watch Russian Doll season 2? I loved it. Yes. Do you guys watch Russian Doll?
No, I want to, but I still haven't.
You guys have to. It's got queer icon whose name I forget.
Natasha. Who's not who herself is not queer, yes. But yeah, but she is an icon, like Cher. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She might as well be, but she's just not, which is sad.
She's extended family.
Yeah, we allow her.
I watched season 1 and loved it and didn't think like it needed more. So I haven't like been interested in season 2 because I'm always nervous. Like when I feel that way.
Yeah.
that it'll be like any bit of a letdown. Plus, I've been busy watching Heartstopper for the second time, so
Yeah.
you have to have priorities in life.
That's right.
And mine are Nick and Charlie.
Forever.
It's so perfect. But yeah, I like the season 1 of Russian Doll more because I don't care how many times you do Groundhog Day. I don't care. I love it. Love it every time. You can always give me Groundhog Day. That's fine. And I've also been watching this anime called The Ranking of Kings, which looks more like an animated film, like not like anime style, where the main kid is like this little prince, and he's deaf and mute. People don't take him seriously, but he's so good. And he wants to become a king and be real strong like his dad. It's a great show. What is... Try to catch up on chat. Jordan, I'm really digging your questions today.
The second best. Because they must have an opinion about what the first one is.
What would the first
one be? We're all
going
to accidentally name it.
Okay, first question for you guys. What's your favorite vampire movie? And then we'll go from there.
I don't know. What are vampire movies? Dracula's Daughter is really high. It's so random, but it's very high up on my list.
I think Queen of the Damned is my favorite.
Oh, that's a good one.
I really like the soundtrack a lot.
Yeah, it was the soundtrack that got you interested.
No,
yes.
and Aaliyah.
Right, okay.
I don't know
what other vampire movies are there? I'm having a...
I'm thinking about just Anne Rice things. And then like Twilight. I wasn't a Twilight person.
I'm going to go with The Lost Boys.
Oh my God, Kristen, I'm just going to join your team. I feel like that was just sacrilegious that I did not remember that movie.
Hey, guys, can I come clean about something?
You've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
Okay.
We'll fix it this summer.
I'm traveling to you right now. 1 second. I'll be there in a few hours.
It's a good thing you had that coffee.
I feel great now.
In like 3.5 hours.
Oh, we have to sometime though.
Hayden, I love you. Like Queen of the Damned.
Wow, Hayden,
I can't believe you. Blade 2. I've never seen any Blade movies. I want to fix that before the new Blade comes out.
So I watched the.
I like that. Oh,
yes, we should marathon all the Blade movies, and there should be beverages abundant because they are super fun to watch in a group. And I haven't seen the third one at all. Like I didn't even know it existed until like last year, but the first two they're fun to watch like in retrospect for sure.
Well, I love movie marathons anyways, so yes, I'm in. I did want to say Little Vampire. Remember that one?
Yes, and Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Yeah. I love
and My Babysitter's a Vampire. I forgot about the children's vampire movies.
Underworld counts, right? That's very of the time. Yes, all the Blade movies 1 and 2. Blade Trinity, never heard of it.
Okay, good to know, Freddie.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, that cast is pretty good. I haven't seen it. The Blade TV show is better than the last 2 Blade movies, in my opinion.
Had no idea there was a TV show.
Being Human, as far as TV goes. Ooh, I love Being Human. Both kinds.
Yeah.
US and British. Mm-hmm. Oh, Fright Night. Oh, Fright Night. Yeah. I always forget about that one. But man, that is like the David Tennant role. So good. Not the, but like
I'm sorry. What?
Okay. Movie.
The Doctor Who's
very
Slander.
Good. It's very good.
I think you're thinking of the remake, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about the remake.
Okay, I was thinking of the original.
I've never seen the original.
It's great. It's a good one.
Freddie says what we do in the shadows. Okay, so can we talk about Our Flag Means Death? Our Flag Means Death briefly. Just want to touch on it.
I've still only watched the first 4 episodes.
Me too. I also still have only watched the first. I just don't think that humor is for me, and I'm trying to figure out why I like Taika's Thor Ragnarok, but cannot get into their humor in What We Do in the Shadows or Our Flag Means Death, because I just like it's fine, but no.
I'm too afraid to say anything until I finish the rest of the show.
I'm bold. I'll
because
say it.
Everyone's so in love with it. So I'm like, I've got to keep going.
I'm gonna finish. I don't think it's bad. It's just the humor literally is not for me.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm so curious. Like, why do I love Thor Ragnarok so much? Because it's
because I love Thor Ragnarok.
It's so good.
So good.
Something must be wrong with me.
Midnight Mass. I know you like it. I didn't.
James, not here. Sorry, friends. We were together watching that.
We watched it all day, and I was like, no,
I can't do it.
I love all the other ones. All the other shows are great.
Absolutely, and I'm still, even after not enjoying that, the House or the Fall of Usher, House of the Fall of Usher, whatever the Edgar Allan Poe phrase. Yeah, and I'm just as excited as I was when I was like, oh, Midnight Mass is coming out. So I mean, like, sometimes things are just not for you, and that's okay. But I think overall, Mike Flanagan is, even like his indie stuff like Oculus and Hush, so good.
Yeah, so good. I think that that's the only one that didn't really work for me. Of course, I'll do anything for Rahul. I'll be anywhere.
Absolutely. Probably. He would be the best. So another thing we've never heard any news on is the Justice League Dark TV show that I don't believe is happening anymore on HBO Max. And they were wanting to cast like a Southeast Asian actor. And I was like, this man could be Constantine. This man is Constantine. And
just Rahul Kohli for every like nerdy role ever. I want him to be Mr. Fantastic. I want him to be Constantine. I still want
adult
him to be
Ezra Bridger.
Ezra, yes. They're gonna bring
something's got to stick.
Let him be Ezra. Ezra's older. Let him be Ezra. Damn it, he wants to be Ezra. Anyways,
I don't want that.
Well, I guess it's about time. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for my two lovely friends here joining me tonight. This was great. I needed this. It's an excuse to hang out with you both. It's just everybody else gets to watch us do it. So thank you guys for watching us do this. Hang out.
Happy to be here.
And we only talked about the circle for like maybe 5 minutes. So it was not bad.
Hello. Buffy came to show her butt.
Buffy, look at your butt.
Now the video is demonetized.
I'll be back next week with Wolverine the X-Men, joined by Gabby. And this time I do have the entire schedule ready for May, so I will post that at the beginning of the month. I know I haven't done that in like a year, but guess what? I'm doing it this time. And you can see me and Kristen this Sunday on the Omnibus Collectors Network for our reads and hauls. Hauls and reads.
Doing it.
Woo!
Yay.
Yay. And, thank you, Joe. Do you hear my cat? She's meowing really loud. Okay.
Robin wants your attention.
She really does. I feel like she should say hi since your cat did.
I was going to say she's jealous.
But she just wants to do this. All right.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much for hanging out. We'll see y'all next week. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.